book over there?
Tis. Ow!
Alright, what are we doing today?
Okay. So, today's lesson, I would like to start with page 32.
Okay.
And I would like you to try that. So,
The midnight ride?
yeah, you notice when you get your right hand ready, remember that G line that goes right through the curly part of the treble clef?
Yeah.
The first note for the right hand is on the space right underneath that line, so it's one note below the G line, so it is called
An F.
an F. And we put finger 3 on it.
Yeah.
And our left hand, of course, what's the name of that first note?
Middle C?
Middle C. Okay, let's try that. And I want you to name the letters out loud.
Oh, okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
C, B, A, C, B, A, C, B, A.
G.
It's my fault
E.
because I told you the first note was F. Actually, we should have gotten that E ready. Good for you. E. Okay, let's just go from there. It's okay. E, 2, 3. So we always count and name.
F, E, D,
E, 2, 3. F, E, D, E, 2, 3. C, B, A, C, B, A, C, B, A, E, 2, 3. F, E, D, E, 2, 3. B, C, B, A, 2, 3. F, E, D, E, 2, 3. B, C, B, A, 2, 3. Okay, I think you went ahead. This is not your first time in your entire life playing this one. You've been practicing it.
This is my first time in my entire life playing this one.
This is very...
I've never played this before.
This is very fast for the first time.
Okay.
Especially if you've never learned these notes before. So, it is important to name, I think, and it's my thing. I made it up. It is totally mine.
It was way harder. I feel like I could have played it if I wasn't naming the notes really easily, but when trying to name the notes made it more difficult.
It does, but why do you suppose it's important to do that?
Probably for memory.
To remember the notes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Similarly to if you meet someone new, and you shake their hand and you say, hi Sarah, you might remember Sarah, but if you just go hi.
Right.
So every time you look, your name, it starts to come faster, and we want to remember the name of those notes. Any beginner learning a piece like this for the first time, I would ask them to do it 5 times a day, naming every time.
Okay.
Okay. Now, I want to show you the meaning of the numbers at the start of each piece.
Oh, yes.
This is called a time signature, okay?
Okay.
So, remember that when it's a fully round note with no stem, nice, full round note with no stem, that is 4 beats. But I didn't tell you before, the actual name of it is whole note.
Okay.
That is a whole note. And I would like you to memorize that before the next lesson.
All right.
Each 4-beat note, of course, equals 2 2-beat notes. And we talked about these being 2-beat notes.
Mm-hmm.
They are called half notes.
Okay.
Each half note, each 2-beat note equals 2 1-beat notes. And we learned this already.
Right.
And these are called quarter notes. So you have 2 quarter notes in one half note, or 2 1-beat notes in a 2-beat note, 2 2-beat notes in a 4-beat note, which makes sense. But now you see why they're named that. Because here we have a whole note equals 2 halves equals 4 quarters. And that makes sense, doesn't it?
It does. Sure does.
Okay. So now we're going to, in a second, well, we could clap these, but let's just look at them for a second. So the top says 2. There are 2, and the bottom number stands for quarters, just like math, 2 quarters. 2 quarter notes inside every bar or measure. I think it was last week I told you that between the 2 bars, the 2 lines, this is called a bar or a measure.
Or a measure, yeah.
So here we have 2 quarter notes, and the last one equals 2 quarter notes total. Then we have 3/4 time, which is 1 2 3 quarter notes. A 2-beat plus a 1, or a half note plus a quarter. Remember that the dot beside a note extends that note's value by half of its value. So this is a 2-beat note plus a 1-beat, with the dot equaling 3 altogether. So every bar equals 3 beats. Now we have 4 beats, 4 beats per bar. We have 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. At the end of every musical passage, we have 2 lines. The end stands for the end. And each of these examples contain 3 bars. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 bars of 4 beats.
Right.
There you go. Okay. Now, I would like to look at page 36. Here we have a curved line across the music. And this curved line is called a slur.
Okay.
All of the notes played within or under or above the curved line, we join and connect smoothly. At the end of each curved line or each phrase, we lift our hand. The slurs often show us where the phrase is. And a phrase is simply a musical sentence. Okay, let's try to play that now.
Am I naming the keys again?
I think we should name. But look it over first, noticing that we're going to lift our hand up and then carry on.
Okay.
3, 4. C, D, E, F, G, F, E, and then lift. And who's that guy?
D.
D, C, D, E, F, E, D, 2, C, 2, 3, 4, and then lift. Very good. You notice I guided you to lift before the 2 beats was complete. Because if you wait for the 2 beats to complete, you're lifting when you should be playing the next note.
Okay.
So we actually won't hold that note right through for the full 2 beats.
Right.
And that is very normal for piano. If it was a wind instrument, you'd have to break early to breathe before coming in.
Breathing's important.
Yes, and breathing, these slurs will tell a wind instrument when to breathe in between the slurs.
Oh, smart.
Right? And for violin, this slur will tell you to bow one way with your arm, and when you see the next slur line, you bow the other way with your arm. And then that way, the violinist feels the phrases.
Cool.
For the pianist to feel it, we feel it best when we just let go and then play again. So I'm going to ask you to play these also every day maybe 3 times, but with no mistakes.
Okay.
And I would like to visit that again next lesson.
Okay.
Okay. Now, to conclude, I want to look at page 37. And I just want to assign it to you for the next lesson as well. But before I just leave you doing that on your own, I want to say something. There's 2 things happening here, so that's why we're going to go over the left hand. For the first time, you're playing both hands at the same time, all the way through. And we know that because the treble clef and the bass are connected.
Mm-hmm.
And we see the notes happening at the same time. So they're on top of each other. They play at the same time. So I'll just play the first bar for you. And it would go like this. So you can hear that I was playing 2 hands at the same time. Now, the left hand also has some new notes. So I want to begin quickly by looking at this line that runs through the bass clef, and of course that's the F line.
Yeah.
And if we follow that line along with our eyes, we find F. There it is. And we are supposed to put finger 2 on that F line. Which hand plays this again, Jonathan?
The left hand.
Left hand. So let's put that 2 on the F. Okay. Good. We're just going to play the left hand. Now, if you see your finger 2's on the F and you go down to the next space, that's called an E. Down to the next space line is D. And the 3rd space down is C. And the reason they've got the names written for you is because this is the first time in this book that you are playing these notes.
Oh, okay.
Okay? So let's play them in the left hand and name those notes.
2.
Oh, sorry, one more thing. If you can, we're going to slur and let go. Otherwise, we'll add that on later. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
3, 4. C, D, E, F, G, F, E. Let go. It is D. Where's D? That's okay. Now, one thing, dear, you moved your hand over. That's okay. Take your time. D, C, D, E, F, E, D, 2, and the slur goes all the way to the C, 2, 3, lift. C, D, E, F, G, F, E, lift. It is D. Where's D? D, C, D, E, F, E, D, 2, C, 2, 3, 4. Honestly, I challenged you by adding the slur because obviously you're picking up so fast. But if I was teaching the average learner, it would be a little bit much. I would only do the notes, and next week we would add the slur. Okay? I always try to teach my lessons according to what I think that the student can bear, and I don't let them know how I would do other people. Always to be encouraging and enjoying our lessons, right?
Of course.
Okay, and that's it for today.
Sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's already off, right?